I started doing the research and reporting, I came across the statistic that we now have more unmarried people than married people in America for the first time in history.
Many young women in their 20s and 30s are spending more and more of their time consumed by anxiety over never finding love or getting married. The crazy cat lady trope has sunken deep into the US imaginary, making it nearly impossible to imagine a single woman over 40 who is genuinely happy. Do you know any happy single women over 40 who are thriving and living their best lives? Well, if not, it's about time you met one.
My name is Isabel Pradas. I am 42 years old. I am single.
My name is Amelia Watson. I'm 71. I'll be 72 in December. I'm single.
My name is Kate Bolick. I'm 44. I am single.
I enjoy my independence.
And I love to go out dancing, hanging out at lounges with friends. So I'll try to do that a couple times a month.
I do Tai Chi 3 days a week. I do aerobics. During the summer, I'll do water aerobics.
And studies show that single women contribute more than married women and mothers just because they have more time. So they tend to volunteer more, they spend more time with their families, they tend to be the kind of glue in a family. They can often be the glue in their social groups because they have more time. Society is based on the dyad, on the romantic couple, on marriage. That's how society is organized. If you're not getting with the program, you're made to feel less than. You internalize that sense of there being something wrong with you. Aside from just wanting partnership or love or whatever, there's a stigma around being single.
I come from a Latino family, the pressure of being married and having kids, and that's a whole other, ball of the having kids thing, right? That's wrapped into whether or not I wanted or should have relationships work or not work, and what that means, and do I have kids, and all of that. The pressure was on. The pressure is on, and it was a matter of me telling everybody just to back off. And that my happiness was not going to be dictated by what they thought was good for me.
Studies show that the majority of women are undecided on whether or not they want to have children. So we walk around with this idea, this myth, that all women are desperate to have babies.
I don't need to be a mom come hell or high water.
Women hit 35, and if they're not married, the anxiety tends to lift, and that's when they really embrace their life as single women.
I've had my share of substantial and significant relationships, romantic relationships in my life, some that have lasted for many years, and for different reasons. It hasn't resulted in marriage. It's because really in my heart of hearts, even in my youthful self, I always knew that if I really didn't feel at peace in the relationship, for whatever reason, that I knew that it wasn't going to go the distance.
In order to have a good relationship, you have to know who you are. You have to be comfortable with you.
It breaks my heart to think that women are spending their 20s anxious, or even their 30s. It's just, there's so much to do. There's so much life to be lived, and partnership, as we know, is not a recipe for happiness. Divorce rates remain pretty stable. I think there's definitely still a social expectation for women to get married, and it's a hangover from the generations that came before. Society hasn't caught up yet to the fact that women don't need marriage the way that they once did. Marriage is now an option, not a necessity.
As you begin to do things and realize that you do have a life and choices are your own and they're not dependent on someone else, you become more comfortable with your life.
You can just make a decision to do what you need to do for yourself and to do something differently. And you can just decide, and it's up to you to do it. And things will work out somehow, some way, if you really just believe that and know that. And that's just what started showing up in my life.
Oh, I have one more thing to say, which is that statistically, most people get married. So if you're feeling anxiety about it, like really, like, and that's part of what's confusing about this contemporary conversation. It's like we have more single people, people are rejecting marriage. They're not. Actually, what they're doing is pushing off marriage. So statistically, most people end up getting married. And we're just seeing that happening at later and later ages.